Yo, what up? Ogechi here, aka Oaghaji, and I'm back with another video, and it's time for another review. Now, today's review is going to be on the 1974 Japanese martial arts film classic, a Japanese karate film classic from Toei Studios, and it's called Onna Hisatsuken, Kiki Ippatsu, aka Sister Street Fighter Hanging by a Thread. And as y'all can see, I'm going to use the Arrow Video Sister Street Fighter collection for this review. And here is disc number 2. Yep, here it is. Disc Nigo. Discu Nigo. Yeah, without further ado, let's begin. Now, this film is a sequel to the original Onna Hisatsuken, aka Sister Street Fighter. And as y'all know, it stars Etsuko Shihomi. It has Yasuaki Kurata, who is awesome, as Shunsuke Tsubaki. Yeah, Etsuko Shihomi is Lee Holong, and in Japanese, Lee Koryu. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of other casts. It also has the awesome Masashi Ishibashi, you know what I'm saying? Who played Shikenbachi in the Satsujinken films, aka the Street Fighter films of Sonny Chiba, 1 and 2, actually. Now, the film takes place after the first film, you know what I'm saying? Now, we start off in Hong Kong, you know, a man's being followed by a gang in Hong Kong, you know what I'm saying? And he's, you know, and they have these very skilled fighters, especially one that's skilled in Korean Kung Fu, a fictional style of Korean Kung Fu, which is pretty cool, and a bunch of others. They kill this man, and, you know, later on we find out he's a Hong Kong detective, which is, you know, which is interesting. Lee Koryu fights against the gang that, you know, that killed him, you know what I'm saying, and they got away. You know, he has this fake eye, and it has a film in it, and he gives it to Lee Holong. Yes, I'm going to use mostly the Chinese names in most of the videos, but I'll let you know about the characters with the Japanese names, who are Chinese in the film. Anyway, this film, she's being showed us by a man who is very wealthy in Hong Kong, and she recognizes it's her friend Wang Meilei, or O.B. Ren, you know what I'm saying, and she's been, you know, and it has, and all this involves, you know, diamonds, actually, which is very interesting. And then we get, you know, Lee Koryu, or Lee Holong's sister, you know, Lee Bai Long, aka Lee Hakuran in Japanese, you know, and she goes to Japan, you know, as y'all know, Koryu, or Holong, goes to Japan from her home in Hong Kong to solve this, you know, diamond smuggling case, you know what I'm saying? And then she meets up with, you know, Tsubaki, Shunsuke Tsubaki, played by the awesome Yasuaki Kurata. You know, she fights him, you know, in an earlier fight scene. We don't know the question is he a friend, is he a foe or a friend? We don't know for sure. You know what I'm saying? Which is pretty interesting. And, you know, later on in the story, like I said, you know, it's up to Lee Koryu, you know, to put an end to this diamond smuggler ring, you know, that her sister is involved in, and to save Wang Meilei, or O.B. Ray. So, that's the best way I can describe this plot without spoiling it. Without spoiling, man, I can't speak right now because I got back from Frisbee. Spoiling the plot. There we go. Sorry for being tongue-tied. You know, I'm just tired from playing basketball and shit. Anyway, the story is actually pretty good. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, it's not perfect. It's not some Shakespearean masterpiece, but it's very engaging enough to keep you interested, especially when it comes to the characters. Lee Holong, aka Lee Koryu, is awesome as always, you know. She tries her best to do the right thing, you know what I'm saying, with her martial arts skills and whatnot. especially being skilled in Shorinji Kempo. And as y'all know, Shorinji Kempo is basically the modernized Japanese version of Shaolin Kung Fu, which is pretty awesome. You know, especially with its name, Shorinji Kempo, which means Fifth Way of the Shaolin Temple, which harkens back to, you know, the Shaolin Temple in China and Shaolin Kung Fu. You know, she does face her challenges as usual, like the previous film, you know what I'm saying? You know, she doesn't all, you know, which is cool, you know what I'm saying? It's always nice to have a character, whether male or female, face challenges, especially when it comes to fight scenes, which we'll get to later on. You know, everybody gets some pretty decent development, you know what I'm saying? Especially with, you know, with Honlong, aka Koryu, and Tsubaki, played by Yasuaki Kurata. You know, the entire cast from Etsuko Shihomi, Yasuaki Kurata, and a bunch of others, they all did fantastic, you know, in their roles. So that's all I have to say about that, because I don't want to make this too long. The story, characters, and acting all get a 4.5 out of 5, in my opinion. Now, let's go on to the good stuff. Now, the action in this film is just awesome. It's a great, you know, improvement, you know, of the first Sister Street Fighter film, which already had some awesome fight scenes, you know, with its choreography and how it was shot, edited, and lit. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and the sequel further expands on that. You know what I'm saying? The classic Japanese style with minimal editing, like the wide angle shots and all that, which is cool, you know. And the fight scenes were lit pretty well, as well as being very well choreographed and shot, you know what I'm saying. And the film as a whole was shot very well, especially in locations in Hong Kong and in Japan, which is pretty awesome, considering, which is cool how, you know, Toei did have a pretty decent budget to do that, you know what I'm saying, which I think is awesome. What else I want to talk about? Oh, the music. The music has some awesome 70s martial arts action film goodness, you know, especially the guitars and all that, which is pretty cool. That 70s Japanese rock, that grooviness, you know, which is pretty awesome, as always, you know what I'm saying? So, no complaints there. So, the action, cinematography, editing, lighting, and music all get a 5 out of 5 on this. Overall, Onna Hisatsuken Kiki Ippatsu, aka Sister Street Fighter Hanging by a Thread, it's a great sequel to the original and a great improvement of the original as well, you know what I'm saying? And in terms of its story, characters, action, everything. So, I highly recommend it. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. Yeah, that's it. A 5 out of 5, because it's that great of an improvement. Hopefully y'all enjoy this review, despite some hiccups here and there with the brain farts and, you know, and being tongue-tied and shit. You know, like I said, it's been a long day. You know, playing basketball and having that yoga class in college earlier and all that shit. So, yeah. With all that said, let me know what y'all think about Sister Street Fighter Hanging by a Thread in the comments below. If y'all like this video, y'all can hit that like button, share it. You know, you can subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content, and hit that bell to keep y'all notified. Y'all can also follow me on my other social media accounts, and stay tuned for more other reviews and more other videos along the way. So with all that said, this is your boy, Ogechi Aghaji, aka Oaghaji, aka the Pervy Sensei, signing out. Peace.